My name's Anna Willats, and I'm proud to be working with Las Perlas del Mar Productions to talk with you on a regular basis about women's issues in the City of Toronto and the Province of Ontario. I hope that you will enjoy my commentary. I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to present issues that I think are important to all women and maybe take a little more radical view than you might hear in the mainstream press. So as long as Las Perlas del Mar Productions is happy to work with me, I'm very, very, very happy to work with them. I've been invited to talk about many things that are going on in women's lives, and I have many, many things I'd like to talk with you about. Today, I've been thinking about women in politics, and the reason I've been thinking about that is because we are heading into election season here in Toronto and in the province of Ontario, and we're going to find lots and lots of people, mostly men, mostly white men, Canadian-born, who are going to be asking you to vote for them. And as they do that, there are really important questions that you need to be thinking about to ask them and understand that you drive the agenda as much as they do. And in fact, if the people drive the agenda, we're going to end up with governments that meet our needs. This is particularly important for women because government decisions affect every aspect of our lives. They control whether or not we have enough money to feed our families, whether or not we have enough resources to live happy and healthy lives, participating in our communities, and they even make the decisions that determine whether or not we can even vote for them in the first place. Last night I was in an all candidates debate because there's an election going on right now. It takes place on February 4th for a riding in downtown Toronto called Toronto Centre. And the candidates last night include a woman who's been an incredible activist. Her name is Cathy Crowe, running for the NDP party. A gay man named Glenn Murray, running for the Liberals, who has been kind of anointed by the press as if he is just going to automatically take over. He's a good politician. He was the first out gay mayor of a major city, the city of Winnipeg. But I think we need to be troubled by the fact that it seems like the powers that be have decided already for us who's going to be a candidate and who's going to represent people in that very, very diverse riding. One of the things, the other elections that are coming up are the municipal elections. And in 2010, we're going to be selecting a new mayor and new city councillors across the city of Toronto, as well as across the province of Ontario. Women need to become involved in electoral politics for the reasons I was talking about before, because those decisions affect our lives so much. Women in the Spanish-speaking community and the Latin American community need to be involved in these politics, and they need to be asking people who are looking for your vote this year about why permanent residents of Canada are not allowed to vote in municipal elections. It's quite possible for our politicians to make decisions that would allow more people to vote than currently are able to. We need to be asking politicians why more women aren't running for municipal politics, for provincial politics, and for federal politics. Why do you have to have at least $1.5 million to even think about running to represent the people of your riding? Why, if you are a person of color or a woman or a non-English speaker, non-English as a first language speaker, why is it that you face so many barriers to being able to be elected, to get your name out there, to have the support of the parties so that you can represent people and bring the issues that are so important to the forefront? At the debate last night, people had a lot of nice things to say about how to preserve neighborhoods, how to get people more involved in their communities, but they didn't talk very much about the things that are keeping people from being involved in their communities. The fact that the Ontario welfare rates and the ODSP rates are so low that you can't even afford to take the bus to go to a street festival or to take your children to an event at Harborfront or somewhere else around the city. They didn't talk about the fact that over 70,000 families are waiting for affordable housing in this city. The one person who did talk about it in any depth was Kathy Crow, and that's because she has worked with vulnerable and homeless people for over 20 years in the city. But they didn't talk about violence against women. When they talked about crime, the suggestion was more police officers will help crime. But women know that a police officer is not necessarily going to be, another police officer on the street is not necessarily going to be the solution to her problems of violence in her home. They didn't talk about the way men are still educated to believe that they have the right to control women's bodies, to control their families, and to control women's movements. So we need more women involved in politics, and we particularly need women who experience the disadvantages of being new immigrants to this country, the disadvantage of being queer, the disadvantage of being young and homeless, the disadvantage of being poor. We need women to be speaking with those disadvantages. We need them to be speaking up in elections, and we need them to be running for electoral politics. And I really want to encourage anybody who's watching this broadcast to get involved in a candidate's campaign so that you can learn more about what's involved in politics. If you are a leader in your community, whether that's in your small community center, whether that's in your daycare, whether that's in your circle of friends, if you are a leader, if you have strong opinions about the issues, if you have a passion for talking with people and finding out what they need and helping bring people together to make change, then you've got a good chance of being a fantastic politician. And I want to really encourage everybody to think about the ways that they can get more involved in these campaigns. Because if we're not speaking up, if they're not hearing our voices, they won't pay attention to them. They'll just keep paying attention to the voices they always pay attention to, which are the business owners, the corporations, the developers, the people who really don't have our interests at heart. They have profit is the interest, and we need to change that. And the only way we can do that is if we get involved. So please do get involved in your local campaigns, get involved, go to an all candidates debate meeting, ask questions, demand to know why newcomers to Canada are not allowed to vote when government decisions have such a huge impact on their lives. Ask those hard questions, and don't stop asking until you get the answers that you deserve. Thanks.